The Twin Valley Locker Room Show brings you back inside Clay Center Tiger football as we're joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Todd Rice. The Twin Valley Locker Room Show is powered by Pulse Internet. All your devices want superior connection. Another Football Friday for the Clay Center Tigers. It's what last week was all about. And then you get into last week and it becomes about so many other things. It's what we love about high school football. Last Friday really epitomizes what you love about high school football, right?
Oh, absolutely. And everything you talk to your guys about, never giving up and playing hard for each other. And, absolutely, that's what you love about the game. And I think you saw that come out.
The team won that football game. The team we've talked about week in and week out. Sure, people love numbers. Everybody does. Right. But when it comes down to it, this team finds ways to help each other out. And they did it again all game long, but the final 225, simply amazing.
Yeah, and I think I've said this before, that this group is pretty genuine, and when somebody else does something well, they're a big enough person to feel good for that other person. I mean, nobody likes not doing well, but, it takes some rare individuals to be really happy for somebody else that does well and prospers, and that's kind of an interesting dynamic with this group.
Caleb Mendham's had an amazing run of games. Obviously, Nickerson had paid attention to that because they came out and decided to take 20 out of the game. We've talked about the balance of this team, though, and it shined for you on Friday night with the other guys stepping in and making big plays.
Yeah, and it's triple option football, so, you don't know until the ball's snapping and plays out who's going to get it. Gavin Siebold had another good game. I mean, he's excellent at what he does, but he had a touchdown called back, and a lot of different ways we can go after people. And then, Connor, has had some ups and downs as a receiver this year, and then for the play he made and just, all the way across the board.
Let's talk about the finish of that football game. You guys are down by 6, 2:25 left in the game. Nickerson kind of got their offense going for the first time in the second half. You blanked them in the second half for the most part. 2:25 remains. Now all of a sudden they're just trying to wind the clock down, and you guys, the old adage is keep sawing wood, keep fighting for each other, never give up. You say those things, and then guys go out and do it. Levi Fitzenmeyer comes up with the first play.
Yeah, the fumble recovery was, man, that kid was just, what a great read. And then when he saw the ball hit the ground, the acceleration that he had, because their quarterback realized it and was over the top of the ball, and Levi just had a burst about him to get that.
He was a whisker from taking it to the house, too. If he doesn't get tripped up, there was nobody in front of him. So now your offense takes over. And I know I shared a text with you just to congratulate you on the playoff win and to get that thing done. And you said you credited a lot of people, the team first, but also your coaches for just kind of sticking with what you guys do, even in crunch time.
Yeah, that was the thing, not panic. And, every week we work on it 2 or 3 times during practice, the tempo we want, being able to get back up the ball. And our coaches did a great job. We all knew exactly what we wanted to go to. Everybody kept calm and just executed. And, our guys are used to that from practice. But like you said, to go out and do it in a game, sometimes you don't get that execution on Saturdays and Sundays. So it was great to see our guys believe and have confidence.
There were great plays in that final drive, obviously. We'll start with the 4th down conversion. Peyton Lane hits Anthony Atkinson inning. We've seen it a lot. I think Ant has become, he's a great athlete, we know that. He has become a great route runner. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think so. And they're having a lot of trouble with him, and those things are obviously helping our running game as well.
And then you get down to 12 seconds. You take your shot to the end zone. You mentioned Connor last. His first touchdown of his high school career on the varsity level comes at the most important time. Amazing stuff.
It was. And just, the confidence that he has and, everybody has in him, and then Peyton just making a tremendous read. And, he was kind of in harm's way. Right. You go back and watch that more and more, and it was incredible. He got that thing out of there, and just a great play all the way around.
Then Peyton comes right back out for the extra point. You get a timeout just to make sure you had things set. Was there a decision on whether to take the 1 or to go for 2?
No, I pretty much knew. When we cut it to 20-12, we were going for 2. And then when we got it tied up, it's not that we don't have confidence in our PAT. It's more so how confident we are in our two-point conversions, and when you're moving the ball, doing certain things, and then you get the ball that close, it's just too tempting for what we do to usually go for two. And then we took the time out. Just Peyton was beat up and had been rolled his ankle and has been cramping up, and so we weren't trying to freeze our own kicker, but we were trying to give him a chance to just catch his breath. And I mean, everybody knew we were just going for one, and that was going to be it.
And the kick, from our angle, we couldn't tell, but we saw both arms raised from the two officials. Randy Carlson, I think, said it best. He said when he sees Peyton, he's going to walk up and say that's the most beautiful, ugly kick I've ever seen in my life.
I think Peyton hit the middle of the ball, and when you watch it on film, it's almost one of those sports science things, because they had pressure at the middle. Number 5, the quarterback, they put him in to block it. He was Superman dive across the top of the ball, and yeah, it was crazy.
So you guys go into that game last Friday night. You wanted a home game. Smoky Valley got you in a game you just couldn't quite finish that second half. It was the second half you did finish last Friday. You knew going in, it had been 1993 since a Clay Center Tiger football team had won a playoff game. Right. It had to weigh on the guys. It had to weigh on you and your staff to respond and react and get one in that manner. Could it have been any sweeter?
No, in talking about a weigh-in on them, we talked about it a lot in the off season. We've talked very little about it in season, and I think it was just, all last week we're like, hey, the opportunity's here. If it's not this group, it's going to happen. We've had some good teams in the past, and we've just had some really tough draws some years, had some tough injuries, some tough turnovers, and so to finally be in a game and have those things go our way, and what a great group for it to happen for.
Amazing night last Friday. I know you guys have been focused forward because that's what you do, and you get ready for this week. Now against an undefeated Scott City team, you do get to be at home for another Football Friday. What do you know about this Scott City squad coming in? They're undefeated. They seem to be a little young from what I'm seeing, but their numbers are pretty well balanced.
They are. I mean, they start a lot of juniors. They'll probably be stronger next year yet, and that's tough to say. I mean, Scott City, I told the guys they're one of the blue bloods of high school football, and of course everybody was watching Ron Baker, go through Wichita and in the NBA and all that. And I started in Ness City in 1990, and Scott City was the power back at that time too. And I mean, they're just always there. They're an athletic group. They're 10-0, ranked number 1 in the state. A lot of people think really highly of them, and I don't know, we're just excited to have the opportunity.
8 teams remain. There are 4 games on Friday night in 4A Division II, one of those in Clay Center. It's a special time for you guys.
Yeah, it is, and I think our guys are just having fun with it, and we're just treating it just like we have all year. Here's this week's opportunity.
One more game to get one more game is what it's all about. Coach, a great Friday night. Let's go get them this weekend as well.
All right, thanks a lot.
We hope to see everybody out at the Den. The Tigers host Scott City Friday night at 7.